From hitthatline.com and across all of the ESPN Arkansas platforms, and in association with the Arkansas Sports Network, it's the only in-depth high school sports podcast in the state of Arkansas. It's Primetime Preps. And here's your hosts, Brad Caldwell and Bill Harshaw.
Welcome into another edition of Primetime Preps. We're here at Dover High School for tonight. Tonight, while you get this, it'll already have happened. But we're here tonight for the big Mayflower girls game versus Dover. We're going to be doing the live stream for that on the Russellville Sports Network. We're excited to be here for that. But we're here live on scene right now at Dover.
That's right. You know, we like to visit some of our schools that we can get a chance to go visit, and I hope we don't inconvenience them too much. You look behind us, you can see them practicing quietly, stretching out, getting ready for tonight's ball game. And I tell you, it's going to be a good game. I'm excited for it. I don't want to talk about it too much, seeing as how this will air after the game goes on, but it's going to be a big matchup here between the Dover Lady Pirates and the Lady Eagles from Mayflower.
And we already thank Dover for the hospitality that they've given us here. I mean, got brand new hats that we decided to sport today here on camera. We really appreciate that. And, it's just good to be here. And, when people want you here, it's fun. It's when they pat you on the back a little bit and say, hey, man, we're glad for you to be here. It's always fun. And so we're glad to be at Dover because they're already rolling out the red carpet a little bit for us, and so that's good. We've got Coach Charlie Melton here, the senior high girls coach. We've got him. He's coming on the show today along with Chris Hudgison of KAIT Channel 8 in Jonesboro. He's talking NEA hoops. And let me tell you something. That guy, he's got all the knowledge when it comes to NEA hoops. I mean, we could have talked to him for 30 minutes.
And we learned that last fall when we talked to him on the football side of things. Guy knows his stuff. It doesn't matter what rock we're talking about, he knows his rocks. And in this case, we are talking about the round ball variety.
Yes.
And, he knows more about Northeast Arkansas basketball than I could ever know.
Right, exactly. And so we're going to get to a few notes here from around the state in our primetime rebound segment. And, there's so much basketball. I mean, it's just completely impossible to cover all of it. You got, hundreds of teams playing every Tuesday and Friday night and some on the in-between, especially during this COVID issue that we've been through. But, man, there's still some really good notes here tonight, which will be yesterday,
Tuesday night.
Right, by the time that we get here. Little Rock Central, that's out of habit. North Little Rock are playing each other, 1 and 2 teams in the state, same conference team, by the way. Those two are playing each other. Of course, you've got all kinds of talent on the floor. Bryson Warren, who joined us last week, he's just blowing things up right now, averaging over 30 points per game over his last 7 ball games as a sophomore.
And, I mean, we've been watching him all season long. Bryson Warren just never fails to light up the scoreboard, and that's something he's done all season long, and that's going to be a big matchup for him. He's played against really good competition, and this is no different.
No different at all. We're going to be probably reporting on that one next week as we get back to our next show, which we've already got really good guests lined up for that one. We're excited about that. Also, just undefeateds that are in the state. I think that's worth mentioning. On the boys' side, there's one undefeated right now. That's Magnolia. They've won 747 games in a row and haven't lost since 1956. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but my goodness.
No, they haven't lost since 2019. They haven't lost this decade. How about that?
That works better.
But Magnolia
boys.
boys.
Doing the math going, well, 1950,
right.
There's a heck of a lot more ball games than you just mentioned, buddy.
They're pushing 50-game winning streak right now. That's how long it's been for Magnolia. So I know that they're getting up there as far as longest winning streaks in the state's history. They're up there. On the girls' side, you got 4 undefeateds left. In 5A, you've got Batesville. Chris Hudgison touched on this one a little bit with Izzy Higginbotham. She's a Missouri commit and a signee, I believe. Anyway, she's in 5A, she's there. Harrison in 4A, Desark in 3A, CAC. Desark in 2A and CAC in 3A. We'll have Ava Canadal on with us next week from CAC, talking a little bit about the Mustangs. So big time there. And then, of course, just notes from around the state. Bentonville, we don't talk a lot about the West right now. We need to get some more West talk. We need to get some more people from up in the Northwest Arkansas area, which is kind of odd when you really think about the attention that just everything gets in the state is usually up in that Northwest corner, starting with the Razorbacks and then, of course, all the businesses and all the stuff that are based out of there, Bill. But Bentonville is the number one team up there. They have a 2-game advantage over Fayetteville.
And so that's going to be a big game for Bentonville and Fayetteville, for that matter. 2-game advantage. They're facing off against each other, right?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not
well,
yet.
They do face off, that's going to be a big-time game. It could have some implications. But, Bentonville leading the way with a 2-game advantage over the nearest opponent. That's huge in that division.
Well, as we turn, we're getting toward the back half of the conference season now. Most people are on the back half of the conference season, if not everybody. Having that 2-game advantage is huge. Fayetteville is 6-2 on the season in the 6A West. I almost said 7A, 6A West Conference. But moving on to 5A right now, Maumelle has taken over the top spot in 5A in the rankings in the Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Fantastic team. I think a team that, when you think about the Central, you got Parkview. That's the number one team that you really think about down there. There's Jacksonville's involved in there. But Maumelle right now is showing to be the best team, at least up to this point.
And we've seen a lot of them. We watch some of their streams, at least I do, watch some of their ball games. And Maumelle is a pretty impressive ball team. And so that's, they have worked hard to get that top spot in the 5A. But and I expect them to continue to put it on.
And then right behind them, you got Parkview and Sylvan Hills. Both those teams are fantastic ball teams. Any of those three that we're talking about could end up in the state championship game. I'll throw Jonesboro in there as well.
Right.
They're out of the 5A East. Marion is another team that really has an opportunity to get there to Hot Springs. That's going to be a fun tournament to watch in the 5A for sure. Pine Bluff right now, they've only played 4 games, but they're undefeated in conference in the South at 4-0, so they're not even quite to the conference turn yet. Going to be a lot of basketball to be played between now and the end of the season for the Zebras.
That's right. A lot of basketball for a lot of the state, especially this is the time of the year that everybody starts getting goosebumps. Right when you're starting to go into February, games have playoff implications when it comes to seeding and things like that, and this is the maddening part of the season right here.
And in 4A, we could go on and on and on, but I am going to stop in 4A right now. You got Berryville leading the 4A one at 17-2. Not a name that you see a lot in the top of, especially on the boys' side. Berryville with a 17-2 record. Farmington's right there with them. I think they're tied at the top of the conference. Farmington is 14-4. And then you've got Blyville as a team that Chris Hudgison spoke of, 20-2 overall, 11-0 in the 4A3. They're fantastic. We've seen Morrilton now more than once. I'll tell you what, Morrilton's a team that nobody's really talking about as being a title contender, but the depth on that team, I really think with them playing at home, they've got a great shot to play for the state title.
I agree. I mean, Morrilton has some really good intangibles on that floor, and it's not like if you can just shut one down, you shut the whole team down. They gel together. They play together, and you can't key on any one particular athlete because you still have 4 left unattended to. So it's a very tough ball team. They're very deep and very impressive to watch.
They've got size coming off the bench. They bring a 6'9" kid off the bench. Also, Brock. Here we go. Not Bryce. Caught him between Bryce and Brock. Brock Hendricks of Morrilton, 1,000-point scorer for the Devil Dogs now. A guard that he's a great number 2 man there, and they've got other guys as well that are really good. They're hosting the state tournament for a reason, I'll tell you that for sure. They really feel good about their chances, and of course then you've got the guy that gets all the attention, Joseph Pinion. If you haven't gotten a chance to see the Razorback commit, who's a junior, coming off ACL surgery, by the way. The ACL doesn't seem to be bothering him at all. I don't know if you watch any of his highlights, but every game he's pulling the rim down.
He is, and in a lot of them you can see those alley-oops coming. It's impressive to watch anytime that a team can play to that level. where you're throwing up lobs from midcourt and tossing it over to Pinion to slam it in with the two-hand jam. That's fantastic to watch, and I was amazed at both of the times that we got to see Morrilton play as both really good exhibitions of talent.
And there is so much to talk about. I could go on and on and on with this first segment, but we are going to go ahead and go to our first break. When we come back, we've got, who do we got here? Chris Hudgison. I was just making sure that I had it right. We got Chris Hudgison coming on with us from KAIT Channel 8 in Jonesboro. He's going to talk some Northeast Arkansas hoops on the Giroux and Associates hotline. We'll be back with more Primetime Preps right after this.
Your family, your most prized possession. You want to take care of them. You want to give them the very best. When choosing a pharmacy, you want someone that knows your name, understands you and your way of life. At Rose Drug, they will take care of your family just like you were their own. They will be someone that you can trust with the ones that you love the most. That's Rose Drug in Russellville.
Here, in the heart of the River Valley, is St. Mary's Regional Health System. Here is the area's most comprehensive range of medical services, along with advanced treatment options and responsive emergency care. Here is our team of more than 900 professionals who bring healthcare to life through people caring for people. And it is here where you can count on St. Mary's to always be, because to us, community matters. For more than 90 years, our investment in our community has been unmatched, and today that couldn't be stronger. St. Mary's, we're here for you.
When is the last time you had a life insurance checkup? Does your life insurance plan provide you with critical illness coverage or long-term care coverage? Contact the experts at Giroux and Associates for a life insurance checkup today. Protect your most valuable asset, yourself. Call Mike Giroux at 888-360-8611 to schedule an appointment today.
Giroux and Associates hotline. We've got Chris Hudgison of KAIT Channel 8 in Jonesboro. He's going to talk to us about some Northeast Arkansas hoops. Chris, man, always appreciate having you on the show.
Always good to spread the word of NEA basketball all over the state, because it's pretty much the hotbed. It's kind of the hotbed, to say the least, of basketball in the natural state.
Let's talk about that real quick. There's definitely, I don't know if you were a part of this or not, because this has been a while back, but there used to be a big battle between NWA and Central Arkansas when it came to football. And going back all the way back to Houston Nuts days, and then really get the stadium debate involved and all that other stuff. But in basketball right now, there is definitely a debate between Central Arkansas and Northeast Arkansas, who has better hoops. So you being a Northeast Arkansas guy, give us the reason why Northeast Arkansas has the best hoops in the state.
There's honestly more want to me in Northeast Arkansas, going all the way down from 5A, going all the way down to 1A, where you go to 1A, there's some places in 1A that can compete with the best of them in 5A and 6A. Perfect example, Izard County, Biola, and Ridgefield Christian going and honestly holding their own with Central Arkansas teams. Izard County did that earlier this season. So you've got teams like that can hold their own with Central Arkansas. And then honestly, the trophy cases, regional sites, state tournament host sites pretty much back up that point, where you have new palaces coming up every single year in Northeast Arkansas, where it seems like every year a school has one. Even schools that aren't as tradition rich in basketball as they may be in football have shining new palaces. So the Brooklyn and Blythells of the world that contend or are in the mix for state championships every year, they've got palaces. Walnut Ridge, who is like usually borderline to get into the state tournament, they have a brand new gym. So you have more you have more of that interest. The fact that we have a high school basketball show, Fast Break Friday night, I think it's the only one in Arkansas. So from pretty much September to March, we are covered with a high school sports show on Friday nights. So football Friday night carries over, and the second we get into January, we have Fast Break Friday night, and that's been going around for at least, I think this is season 11 of the show. And I've been in, my second stint here at KAIT, and high school basketball always matters here. It always has, and it's in some areas of Northeast Arkansas, basketball matters more than football, where in a lot of cases in Arkansas, it's the other way around.
Yeah, well, that's a great case. I think you convinced me. So I do think that basketball in Northeast Arkansas does matter more up there. I think that there are some Central Arkansas teams that would say, hey, we do play some great basketball here, and that's true. And usually what happens in the state championship games is you usually see a team from Northeast Arkansas playing a team from Central Arkansas, and it's always fun meeting up in Hot Springs. And speaking of Hot Springs, I know you guys have some contenders over there for Hot Springs. Let's start with Jonesboro, who, man, Saturday they hammered Russellville, and Russellville is a good squad. So tell us a little bit about that game and then about Jonesboro.
No, actually, we didn't see the Russellville game because ASU was playing the same time. So, and I'm usually off on Saturdays.
Right.
But no, Jonesboro has really been on a tear. They kind of had a little bit of a slow start to the season. Granted, West Swift always plays one of the toughest schedules in the state, chock full of usually some Central Arkansas teams in non-conference to really prepare themselves for the 5A East. It's really a typical West Swift team. They're going to play just get in your face defense. They always have a lot of talent athletically on offense. But what's different about it this year is usually you have a lot of athletic forwards and guards. They play a little bit smaller style, but it really works. Like you have Keelan McBride, one of the best guards in the natural state, who has seemingly played at Jonesboro for 7 or 8 years. He's been there that long. He's played there, had that much experience with the Golden Hurricane, who really helps really run that engine. But then you've got younger guys in the fold. You've got a Kevon Pointer. You've got an Isaac Harrell. You've got Bradley Richardson, like an older guard player there. So they've got experienced guard play with McBride and Richardson. Then you've got younger guys in the front court that really help that engine go. And they're really just rock solid on defense. The game that really impressed me the most watching them was the way they dismantled Marion on the road in conference play. And those are pretty much the two top contenders in the 5A East. Jonesboro pretty much waxed the Patriots there in a road game in a tough environment, and that was kind of what really sold me. Right now they're on a 9-game winning streak. They're playing Tuesday night as we're taping this. They'll win that one. They're playing Paragould. They'll win by 40. So 10-game double-digit winning streak there for the Hurricane, and if they don't make a deep run to Hot Springs, I'll be really surprised.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right about that. Last year, they surprised Russellville in the very first round, and Keelan McBride was huge in that game. And they are Wes Swift, man, what can you say about that guy? He's a fantastic coach. He probably is the best coach in the state. I'm sure there's some people that you can put up there with him, but I don't know. He may be the best. Let's move down into the 4A and below here. You've mentioned Brooklyn and some of these others. Who are some of the contenders over on that side of the state in the 4A?
4A, I think you have to start the conversation with Blytheville. Brand new spanking arena, Chickasaw Arena. It's a palace like there's been a lot of palaces in the state. Really experienced ball club. At the time of taping this, they're 20-2 this season, and they've had some really impressive wins. I mean, they swept Brooklyn in the regular season. Swept Westside. Westside's usually in the conversation this year. Westside's down, but Blytheville, a really experienced ball club. Mackenzie Pierce has really done an outstanding job with Chickasaws. You got guys like Lamont Jackson, Brian Jones, and Johnny Anderson that have plenty of experience. Made a run through regionals. I thought they had a legitimate shot to go to really make a deep run in the state tournament, and then things just really didn't fall the way they planned there. But this is easily Blytheville's best team in quite some time. They have a legitimate shot to go to Hot Springs this year. You've got talented guard play, and the thing that really separates them from a lot of 4A teams is they've got really great length on both ends of the floor that be able to create turnovers and really disrupt and be able to create your own shots. And so they've been really tops here in the 4A3. And then Brooklyn is always going to be in the conversation as long as Bobby Gross is the head coach, where they're going to play that really slow half-court style. They play a game in the 30s and 40s, and that's kind of their hallmark there. they've had an up and down conference year, but it just seems every single year they find a way to peak in February and March and have that defensive style, which not a lot of teams in the state play, and they always seem to make a run. Like last year, they got all the way to the state semis, lost to the eventual state champion Magnolia, and really had a chance to really end the impressive winning streak that Magnolia that has been on lately. Brooklyn honestly had the best shot to stop it. So you're going to always have Brooklyn in that conversation. Another wild card, I would say, in this area in 4A is Southside, the Southerners, where really up and down style, really good shooting team. They have really, given Brooklyn in conference and given Blytheville some fits. Blytheville, has perfect in conference play, but Southside has played Blytheville pretty close. So Southside's kind of that wild card team, I would say, in 4A that could make a run at it.
Wow, that's great. Let's move on down to 3A. Same thing here. Who's doing what in 3A?
3A, really, you have to start the conversation with both reigning state champions because of what happened last year in March. We have kind of to start with Osceola and Rivercrest. Osceola, perfect in conference play, a lot of experience back from a state championship team last year, and they've really just taken it and run with it. Vernon Wilson really doing a great job with that ball club. And they've got younger guys on the team. I remember him telling me when they had the state championship ring ceremony, said, hey, we're really going to be we might be better this year because they have guys coming up, as freshmen and sophomores that have the length that you need to have a shot to make a run in the state tournament. Then they've got enough experience and enough shooting to really get things done. They have really just torn through the 3A3 conference so far. Rivercrest, they're going to still be in the conversation because they have enough athletes back from that state championship team. And they'll still be in the mix, but Osceola really is head and shoulders over the rest of the 3A group. And then, of course, Manila's always going to be in the mix with Coach Wimberly and the job he's been doing there with the Lions for quite a long time. They knocked off Rivercrest this past Friday in a huge conference win there. Manila certainly will be in the mix. Got some young guys, got some guys that can really shoot the three ball. You've got a sophomore Braden Nunnally who's going to get legitimate college looks, and he's got the length. He can throw it down and he can dunk it and things like that. So it really is concentrated in Mississippi County on the boys' side there with Rivercrest, with Manila, and with Osceola. On the girls' side, I'm sure we'll talk about this a little bit. On the girls' side, especially in 3A, you got Hoxie. Hoxie has one loss this season, really experienced ball club. They made a deep run last year, and I'm sure they'll do the same. So get a little ahead of you. I'm sure we'll talk a little bit of girls.
Yeah, yeah, we will. Let's just move on. Go on down into 2A. Tell us a little bit about 2A.
2A, kind of right now, the 2A conversation on this side of the state really starts and ends with Earl. The Bulldogs, every single year, always seems to find a way to play themselves in the state conversation and make a run, and they're certainly doing that this year. Carl Miller, really taking over after the Hall of Fame Coach Murray really put Earl there on the map. Coach Miller has really done the same. Bulldogs reached the state finals in 2020, lost in Hot Springs, but they're definitely going to make a run at it this year. You've got a lot of experience back. You've got Raleigh Davis kind of running things there at point guard. They've got the good mix of youth and experience. They don't have a lot. They have seniors on their team, but you've got a lot of sophomores and juniors on that ball club really, really producing for the Bulldogs. Earl's definitely going to be in the mix there for a state title in 2A.
And let's talk about the girls' side just a little bit.
On the girls' side in 2A, it's really quirky. It's going to start really now and end with Marmaduke. Granted, we always say there's going to be a Marmaduke team have a shot, especially in the girls' side for a state championship, but this might be one of their better teams, the fact that you have an entire starting five that can shoot three-pointers all across the board. And so you mix that with the way that the style that Coach Smith has, the way they play on defense, they're going to be in the mix. I think they're 22-3, 22-4. So you have Marmaduke in the mix, and of course, we've got to talk about Melbourne, the reigning state champions. And I'd say they're just about as good as they were last year, even better when you add kind of more experience there. Now, you got Razorback commit Jenna Lawrence, who dropped a triple-double, I think, about 2 weeks ago against Tuckerman in a conference game. Did it in points, rebounds, and blocks. So can really do it all on both ends of the floor. She's really gotten stronger on the offensive end of the floor this year compared to last year. She's still finding her way. Granted, she was the finals MVP and she was a true freshman. So that pretty much tells you about the level of play and how good she can be as a ball player there.
Right.
So 2A on the girls' side, it's going to be Melbourne or Marmaduke. I would not be surprised if they play each other in Hot Springs this year. Both teams are that good.
And let me just say this too: Melbourne has beaten Fort Smith Northside this year, who is overall the number 1 team in the state, and both teams only have 1 loss. So interesting dynamic there, to say the least. And then, of course, we got to go into 1A as well. Talk about 1A real quick.
1A is kind of a hodgepodge in a good way because you have a lot of good teams. We just don't know how good they can really be. We'll start like right here in Jonesboro, kind of an under-the-radar story is Ridgefield Christian. They have been on a tear in 1A this year, beat Westside Greers Ferry, and not a lot of teams in the state have been able to do that. RCS went on the road and beat them in non-conference play. Ridgefield Christian's a really dangerous team this year. They always end up in the state tournament, but either get a bad luck of the draw or something seems to happen where things fall off. So you have a lot of size inside with Isaiah Ellenberg, and then you've got some size. And then you've got great guard play outside with, Garrett Finicum. They got a big road win over Mark Tree, which is kind of weird to say Mark Tree's a 1A school now, but that's just how things have been now with, with classification and numbers and things like that. But, Ridgefield Christian is undefeated in a really solid 1A3 conference with names like Mammoth Spring and Mark Tree and Hillcrest and Maynard. You've got a lot of solid teams in that conference. So the fact they were able to run the table and then get a big non-conference win over Westside Greers Ferry, huge for them. And then you've got Izard County and Viola in this side of the state, where both teams are really good. The problem is they're in the same conference with each other, and they're in the same conference with Westside Greers Ferry. And WSGF has beaten both of them this year. But Viola, an interesting story. You've got Coach Rick Luna coming in from Missouri, and he has all of his sons playing on the team with him. And they're fantastic team to watch inside and outside. They've got good size, got some good shooting on outside, and they really can make things difficult for some opposing teams. And then it's 1A basketball. We're going to talk about Izard County for quite a long time because of what Coach McCandless has done, because they always seem to have players, and they always seem to have returning guys every single year. So, this time it's Kobe Everett this year really running the show. I'll give you a perfect example. They had a shot to beat Jonesboro at the very beginning of the season. Izard County, Everett, I think, dropped 34 or 35 points against the Golden Hurricane at JHS. So,
wow,
really solid team. They can play with just about anybody. Now you just wonder, them playing in such a tough league with Westside Greers Ferry, does that make it on the front end where they may just run through the bracket in the state tournament? We'll see there.
All right. Finally here, on a football note, I know that you just interviewed Cam Turner, is a guy that we've had on this show a couple of times. Talk about his commitment to Arkansas State. Kind of came out of nowhere.
It did. I think he was really waiting on a Division I opportunity. He's going to get a chance as a preferred walk-on with the Red Wolves, and he did just about everything you can think of on the football field this year for Rivercrest. The only setback was they played Shiloh in the state finals, and Shiloh's a fantastic ball club, but he was third in the nation among high school players that played in the fall. He was third in the nation in all-purpose yards, 5,000 some odd all-purpose yards. Did it all as a quarterback, throwing the football, running the football like they do with option play, and then the thing with him, he played defense too. He played in the secondary, had a pick six here and there. I think he had 5 interceptions. So A-State getting a really talented athlete who's incredibly flexible. Like, I honestly could see him as maybe a slot wide receiver, or I think he could be a perfect return specialist for the Red Wolves because, he's fearless with the ball, and that's really what you need in that that style of play. And basketball, it just dawned on me. We ran through all these teams in basketball, and I completely forgot to mention an SEC commit in 5A, Izzy Higginbottom in Batesville, undefeated. They might have an undefeated season in them this year. Who knows? But fantastic team to watch. Izzy Higginbottom, the Missouri commit, really running the show there for the Lady Pioneers. But then you've got some other talented players that kind of under the radar. Kaylee Clark, solid guard play there. They've got a lot of size there that you really need, and a lot of length, especially in girls hoops. They have a chance to I'll be stunned if they don't win the state title this year. Undefeated season, who knows? Because the 5A East is always tricky. You always have JHS, the Lady Hurricane, are a really solid team this year. And Nettleton's always going to be in the mix there. So can't believe I went through all that basketball. I ripped through all those teams, and I did not had to mention the Batesville Lady Pioneers. They're having an incredible season so far under Coach Fowler.
Chris, man, we really appreciate you catching us up on Northeast Arkansas hoops, and we will talk to you. I'm sure we'll talk to you down the road here about what's going on, because there's going to be a lot of ball to be talking about here in the next few weeks.
I'm sure we'll run into each other come state tournament time or Hot Springs time.
It sounds good. Chris Hudgison joining us here on the Giroux and Associates Hotline, and we'll be back with more Primetime Preps right after this.
Your family, your most prized possession. You want to take care of them. You want to give them the very best. When choosing a pharmacy, you want someone that knows your name, understands you and your way of life. At Rose Drug, they will take care of your family just like you were their own. They will be someone that you can trust with the ones that you love the most. That's Rose Drug in Russellville.
Here, in the heart of the River Valley, is St. Mary's Regional Health System. Here is the area's most comprehensive range of medical services, along with advanced treatment options and responsive emergency care. Here is our team of more than 900 professionals who bring healthcare to life through people caring for people. And it is here where you can count on St. Mary's to always be, because to us, community matters. For more than 90 years, our investment in our community has been unmatched, and today that couldn't be stronger. St. Mary's, we're here for you.
When is the last time you had a life insurance checkup? Does your life insurance plan provide you with critical illness coverage or long-term care coverage? Contact the experts at Giroux and Associates for a life insurance checkup today. Protect your most valuable asset, yourself. Call Mike Giroux at 888-360-8611 to schedule an appointment today.
Welcome back to Primetime Preps. Here with me, I have head coach of the Dover Senior Girls, Charlie Melton. Coach, appreciate you joining us here.
Well, thanks for having me today. Looking forward to visiting with you a little bit.
Yeah, and we want to thank y'all for a little Dover swag here. Like, man, it's nice. We're getting hooked up here already.
There you go, looking good.
It's good to be here in Dover, and just excited to be a part of the Mayflower game that'll be tonight. Big girls game.
Big game for us tonight. You know, it's got a lot of implications on the remainder of the season, and we know Mayflower's going to roll in here fired up because we went to Mayflower and beat them on their home court. So, and they're loaded. So,
and this 3A5 that you guys are in is a good conference.
Tough. You know, I thought that one we got out of last year was tough, and we jumped right into another frying pan here, and it's a battle in that top 4 spot. It just right now there's so many things that could go either way, and
yeah. And so if you don't know, you got Mayflower, Atkins. Atkins is a very solid basketball squad, and then Lamar as well.
Yes.
So all those teams battling with you guys, but we're going to talk Dover because you guys are 17-2 on the year. Probably one of the biggest hidden gems in the state right now that not a lot of people are talking about.
Right. We, you know, it's taken us a while to build this where we wanted it to be, and sometimes that flying under the radar is a good thing because people don't know what to expect, and you jump up, and all of a sudden they realize they're in for a dogfight with a good team, and that's where we're at right now. And we like people to take us lightly. I'll tell you right now.
Well, this game tonight that we're playing, that again we'll know what's going on by the time this thing airs, is a big game as far as going towards your conference championship aspirations that you have for this team. Tell us a little bit about this game tonight that we're playing against Mayflower.
Right. Well, they're very athletic. Got great size and shooters, and it's going to be a handful for us to jump out and take care of. But you know, we went to Mayflower and hung with them into the fourth quarter, and then just basically played our game and took it from them at their place. I know there we went 14 for 18 in the fourth quarter from the free throw line, and I keep preaching it's going to be that kind of scenario tonight, that we're going to have to hit free throws, we're going to have to play well, and not let them take advantage of us inside, because they do have that ability with their size.
Big time, good team there. In fact, I'm trying to look their record up right now as we speak. But tell us a little bit about your club and who's doing what, and just, who needs to get a little attention for your team.
Well, we're senior loaded this year, that's for sure, and I've got a good mixture of some sophomores stepping in, and we've got one junior, and she starts for us. But Bree McCrotty, the sophomore, she's averaging about 15 a game, and has really stepped in and blended in well with this bunch. Amelia Besterfeld's been Amelia since she was in 7th grade. She knows how to win and knows how to get the job done, and she's averaging 14 a game. And with this team, it can be a different person every night. It used to be they could just come out and key on Amelia, but you can't do that anymore. Audrey Reichert's playing her best basketball of her career, I feel like. She's averaging about 12 a game. And then Kaylee Singleton, my point guard, she's been out here for a little while with some COVID issues there, and we've finally gotten her back. And Kay does a great job of running the point and sneaking up on you, getting to the rim or hitting a three here and there. And Faith Bowden is our other starter. Faith, solid rebounder, ball handler, left-hander. And off the bench, Abby Reams has done a really good sophomore, done a great job for us off the bench. Gracie Bowden off the bench as well. It takes a total team effort. We've got 12 girls, and they get along like a family, and that makes it really really fun and enjoyable to coach a team like that.
And that is good. I mean, to have the chemistry, a lot of people underestimate that. They think it's all talent, but there's been so many talented teams that have come through at different spots here and there, and not been as successful because they didn't have the same chemistry that another team might have that may not be as talented, but they couldn't beat them because they played together as a team.
Right, and that's what I see out of this bunch. They play well together. They do things together. They're together all the time, it seems like, which sometimes is good, sometimes is bad in the age of COVID right here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been a slow process in the building here, and it's finally gotten to that point where that chemistry's there. Kids believe in what we do, and they buy into it all the way down from senior high to junior high to 7th grade, and the whole program on the whole is headed in the right direction, I feel like.
Well, one thing that jumps out to me, just looking at your scores, is your scores. My goodness, I mean, you've hit 90 twice this year. You stay in the 60s and 70s for a good portion. I mean, you guys can put the ball in the hole.
We can score a little bit, that's for sure. We're averaging about 64 points a game, and we're shooting 54% from the 2-point percentage. And you shoot that well, good things are going to happen. And I've got a couple of them shooting in the 43, 44% from the 3-point line, so they can fill it up, and get to the rim. That's, if there's any key for this team right here, and kind of like some of my teams of the past, even when I was at Scranton, that had that ability to get to the rim. This bunch has got that ability. They will get to the basket on you.
And I know it's got to be fun for you that, like you said, y'all been building for a while, and now you guys have, not only do you have this group, but you've got groups all the way down. I saw that your junior high's like 15-2. You got a 7th grade team that just went undefeated, 18-0.
Right. Yeah, our junior high actually finished last night. Finished the year at 19-3. Had a great season, and everybody kind of counted them as down, and they rallied and showed everybody that, hey, we're going to be a good team. And then our 7th grade bunch, like I say, has undefeated season. We've got, Dover's got some great basketball all the way down, even in the Pee Wees. We've got good teams coming up there. So we're excited about the direction of basketball here. The girls' basketball is definitely, pointed in the right direction for us.
All right. Well, man, we're excited to be here tonight, and we're doing the live stream for you tonight as you guys take on Mayflower in this big game. I'm looking at it here. You guys are 7-2 in the conference, and they're 8-1.
Yes.
But you guys are their only loss of the season so far in the conference. So we know that it's going to be a battle tonight. And we're looking forward to being a part of it.
Well, hopefully we'll give you a good show tonight and give you something to talk about.
Coach Charlie Melton joining us here on Primetime Preps, and we will be back with more Primetime Preps right after this.
Your family, your most prized possession. You want to take care of them. You want to give them the very best. When choosing a pharmacy, you want someone that knows your name, understands you and your way of life. At Rose Drug, they will take care of your family just like you were their own. They will be someone that you can trust with the ones that you love the most. That's Rose Drug in Russellville.
Here, in the heart of the River Valley, is St. Mary's Regional Health System. Here is the area's most comprehensive range of medical services, along with advanced treatment options and responsive emergency care. Here is our team of more than 900 professionals who bring healthcare to life through people caring for people. And it is here where you can count on St. Mary's to always be, because to us, community matters. For more than 90 years, our investment in our community has been unmatched, and today that couldn't be stronger. St. Mary's, we're here for you.
When is the last time you had a life insurance checkup? Does your life insurance plan provide you with critical illness coverage or long-term care coverage? Contact the experts at Giroux & Associates for a life insurance checkup today. Protect your most valuable asset, yourself. Call Mike Giroux at 888-360-8611 to schedule an appointment today.
Welcome back to the final segment of Primetime Preps, and Bill, it's been a fun run here. What we've been doing since about week 3, I guess, of high school football.
About week 3 or so, running with the Primetime Preps. It's been a blizzard, if you will,
yes.
Where it's just been a nonstop, fun, enjoyable. Learned a lot in this course of seasons, so I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, we'll definitely be back next year with more Primetime Preps. I know that we're kind of winding this thing down, as high school basketball kind of winds down. We've still got plenty of basketball to be played, but as it does wind down, we're going to wind this thing down and kind of end it here with basketball. But we'll be back next year with football as we get things kicked off. I had somebody tell me, when Hootens comes out, you need to just start right back up. So who knows? Maybe we'll do that. But, we've got opportunities here with us. If you want to email us, you can email us at Brad at Arkansas Sports Network at arkansassportsnetwork.com, Brad at arkansassportsnetwork.com, Bill at arkansassportsnetwork.com. We have we've got some opportunities that if you're interested in joining us, we'd love to have you. And again, we can't thank enough Tommy Kraft and Ty Richardson for having us on. Again, I just can't say enough about them. And we want to say also you need to make sure that you go and like and share and do all the things.
Follow us on Twitter,
right,
all those
exactly.
good things. And also don't forget to rate
exactly.
our podcast. That's a big thing that helps us get exposure. It helps other people that have like interests such as yourself to be able to find our podcast. And so your ratings go a long way.
All right, so we're going to get into, I know that's got to be some of people's favorite segment on here, and just to see some of the primetime performers that we've had throughout the state. And so we're going to get right to that. We have Ashton Dillard of Atkins, and a kid that a lot of people don't talk about, but she's a 1,000-point scorer there at Atkins. 32 points the other night in their win over Baptist Prep, 77-51.
Red Devil pride right there. 32 points against Baptist Prep. That's a primetime performance. Anytime we get that type of submission coming into the office, we are going to let everybody know about it.
And, I will say something about Ashton. And, of course, there's so many players to play and watch and all this stuff. But, Ashton is one of the more fun players that you will see because she's like a four-man, but she plays point guard. And, she just plays it all. She's a do-it-all type of performer for Atkins. And I'm telling you what, talk about somebody that gives it 110%. She absolutely does. So, as we have the bells going on behind us, we're really at a school. That's proof right there. Claudia Bridges of Fayetteville, 31 points in their victory, 77-65 over Harbor.
That's a big performance by the senior guard right there. 31 points in a tight game. Every one of those points were needed for the Bulldogs to win, and Claudia Bridges was able to provide it.
And finally, we've got 25 points, 6 assists, 5 steals against Newport for Pangburn guard Brinley Huggins.
25 points. Anytime you get it up into the 20s, you're starting to start grabbing eyes. Pangburn and a big win over Newport needed every one of those points from Huggins, and what a primetime performance by the junior guard.
And let's get over to the boys' side, and this is one of the more interesting ones that I think that we'll ever have. Is on the boys' side, we've got 2 primetime performers from the same team.
Same game.
You've got Nathan Foster and Robert Kerrigan, both juniors. So somebody is going to get another butt whooping next year.
They'll be back.
They're coming back. But these two combined for 80 points between them, and Blevins 94-24 win over Umpire.
That's a big-time win. Anytime you can score 70 in a high school game, you're doing something right.
Exactly.
94 points for the Hornets, and Nathan Foster along with Robert Kerrigan. These guys, what a performance. You talk about teamwork, there's no I in team. These guys are proving it.
I was thinking about this, and as I go back to some of the things that I've watched throughout the years, I've never seen a high school duo do this. I'm sure it's been done before, but Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen was one that came to my mind. I remember them playing in Indiana one time where Jordan had 44, Pippen had 41. You don't see that very often. I have seen it once in high school, and that was way back in 2002 when I was watching the Hector Wildcats play when they were fantastic that year. Andrew Stanek and Brandon Cole both ended up with 30s.
What's funny is you're talking about a time that the girls practicing behind us, they hadn't even been born yet.
They weren't even born. Yeah, I know. It's crazy how time flies. Of course, you're looking at 2 middle-aged guys here that really realize that, my gosh, the time does fly. But you're right. 2002, these guys weren't even born. Somebody born in 2002 right now would be either 18 or turning 19. That's, wow. Yeah. It makes me want to cry. Right.
And now you know where your hair went, right?
Exactly. And then, of course, we've got final primetime performer. We've got Kendrick Juniel.
Seen him on the show before.
Fantastic player. He told me that he'll be committing pretty soon, so we'll be having him back on the show or just reporting on what happened there. 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists in their win over Junction City, 80-76.
Big-time win for Juniel again. We've had him on the show, an outstanding athlete. We'll see him on Primetime Performers again, I promise you that. He is definitely one of the leaders of that Beard and Bear ball club.
I tell you what, with the Bears as well, you got to think that with them being able to beat Junction City, and they've got a real shot here to play in the playoffs and play into state, maybe deep into the state before it's all said and done. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going on with the Bears. But, Bill, another great show for us today, and really appreciate you joining us. We're looking forward to next week's show. I think we have Ava Knadel and we've got Nick Smith Jr. Both of those
finally
guys,
nailed Nick Smith Jr. down.
Got both those guys coming up, ready to be a part, and so we're excited to bring you the rest of the high school basketball season, and we're gonna get kind of into the home stretch here of Primetime Preps for the 2020-2021 school year.
It's going to get fun. It's going to get busy. It's going to get real fun, real busy. And we're going to have a lot of good hoops coming up over the next month.
So for Bill, I'm Brad saying so long. We will be back next week with more Primetime Preps.